The Green Wave have the opening possession of the third period. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mustang Arena. Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, here with you for the second half of JV girls competition on Friday night basketball action. As always, we are prepared to bring you the full varsity game, but since we happen to be set up early, we're going to start with the second half of JV. Green Wave put on the board for the second half by Fleischer. Today's visitors coming to us all the way from Daytona Beach are the Father Lopez Catholic High School Green Wave. And we'll have varsity coming up following this game. This is the last game before we head into the winter break, although the Mustangs will be busy for that as well. Michaela Coates opens up second half scoring for the Mustangs. Traveling Mustangs ball. So not only do we have today's game to cap off the first semester, actually there was no school today, so the fans are a little bit light, and understandably so, in attendance tonight, although we do have a number of fans here for the JV game. Then coming up next week, we have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The Mustangs will be playing all three of those days as we get Michaela Coates on the pass from Stephanie White. Mustangs handling business pretty well so far here in the JV contest, outscoring the Green Wave by 30 so far, and at this point we're in danger of having a running clock if Mustangs pick up another 5 on that differential. That's not going to do, though, because Sky Carter's going to need to grow a couple more inches before she can catch that pass from Ariana Peterson. We now have confirmation of the bracket for next week, and that's going to be the Diamond Division. Once again, the Mustangs will be competing in what is, I believe, the second highest division of the Florida Prospects Holiday Classic. You have Platinum, Diamond, Gold, Silver, Bronze, and Copper. And so Wekiva will be hosting 2 divisions of play, one of which is the Diamond Division, and Wekiva will be participating in that division. Their first game will be against West Oaks Academy. That's a game you don't often see on the regular schedule. West Oaks is part of the Sunshine Independent Athletic Conference, and that is the alternative to the FHSAA, so you don't see them on the regular schedule a lot, but thanks to some changes by the Florida legislature a couple years ago, it is perfectly legal to play games against them. Michaela Coates on the layup. And so they have been invited to the Diamond Division. They should be a good team to play against in the opening round there. That's going to be 7:30 next Thursday, and Coates is going to get blocked by Otero of the Green Wave. Rachel Belcher into the game for the Mustangs, as well as Angelica Roldan. Good look by Roldan there, just a little bit off the mark on the layup. Belcher tries to get in there for the rebound. And it's eventually slapped out of bounds by Roldan. Green Wave will take over at their own baseline. And so, again, as long as the Mustangs keep winning, they'll keep playing at 7:30. So keep that in mind for next week. The Mustangs are, I know it's been at least the last 2 years. It may be longer than that as far as the Mustangs being defending champions of the Diamond Bracket at the Florida Prospects Invitational. They won last year. They won 2 years ago. They may have won even before that, as we get a basket by Ariana Peterson. And that'll make it a 34-point differential. So the Mustangs will look to defend that title, and again, as long as they keep winning, they'll keep playing at 7:30, because the winner's bracket always plays later than the consolation bracket. 3 seconds in the key, Mustangs ball. So the first game we know for sure is at 7:30 on Thursday against West Oaks, and then you can check WekivaMustangs.com, and we will have the details of each game as soon as we know who the opponent will be and when that game will be. But no matter what, it will always be at Wekiva. Traveling, Green Wave ball. So far this season, the Mustangs have been doing very well. The varsity team has just 2 losses on their record, those coming to defending state champ Winter Haven, and the other loss being against Montverde, which that hardly counts for anything. In your losses column, you just thank your lucky stars that you're able to compete in an event like that. 10 seconds in the backcourt, Mustangs ball. So the full court pressure from the JV team coming on strong here. JV team is not having a bad season themselves so far as Rachel Belcher scores a layup for the Mustangs. A long 2-point jump shot for the Green Wave by Rodriguez. JV so far is undefeated at 7-0 and usually doing so in dominating fashion. Hold is called against the Green Wave, number 5, Rodriguez. That's her first personal foul and the first of the half. Angelica Roldan at the line shooting 2 for the Mustangs. First attempt is off the mark. Checking into the game for the Green Wave, number 40, Nixon. In their last outing, that was earlier this week, specifically on Tuesday, the JV team beat Edgewater by a score of 72-3. But 30, 40-point margins are not uncommon at all. The JV team has not had any real close games yet this season, and that is very typical of LaToya Russ's programs. The JV program always leaving the varsity program in good hands as the players advance forward, moving into their upperclassmen years. We know we always have talent waiting in the wings. Green Wave foul is called against number 24, Fleischer. That's her 3rd personal foul, the team's 2nd of the half. Angelica Roldan back to the free throw line, shooting 2 for the Mustangs. And her first free throw isn't exactly the same spot her first free throw was the last time she was at the line. Grippa back in for Lopez. Putback is not going to go for Coates, but she gets a rebound again. Another offensive opportunity for the Mustangs. Carter to Belcher. Back to Belcher. No basket. Traveling. Lopez ball. It was a good look and a tight call. She did travel, but only by a little bit. Dorsey, 2 hots down the baseline on the layup attempt. Peterson gets the rebound. Healy picked off, Coates to Carter for 3, no good. Belcher slaps it out of bounds, and it'll go to the Green Wave. Green Wave is not a mascot you see very often around these parts. Tulane is the college that comes to mind usually when you think of the Green Wave. Lopez basket by Nixon. And a rare transition score for Lopez on that possession. Roldan runs into a little trouble. Held ball, possession Mustangs. Coates not able to do anything with it on the inbound, but it's tipped out of bounds in favor of the Mustangs. 23 seconds left to do something with this quarter. And Roldan can't quite pull in that inbound. Open court ahead of her, and the layup is too hot for Dorsey. It's going to go out of bounds back to the Mustangs, and since we have a running clock, it's probably not going to get back to the basket. Goes from half court. Not a bad look, but short. And that takes us to the end of the third period. We'll be right back here at Mustang Arena with the fourth and final quarter of JV action. Stephanie White is called on the foul. It's her first and the team's first of this half. Welcome back to Mustang Arena. Fourth quarter underway, running clock in effect as JV turning in a dominant performance so far over the Green Wave. And I think White's going to get called again. Full timeout called by the Green Wave.
Huh? I see it, Whitey left. You probably didn't hear it. That's right. I'm sorry. That's all right. That's all right. Whitey left. You got
Mustangs called in the lane, 2 more shots. Rodriguez gets in there for the rebound, but promptly loses it to a steal. Otero takes the shot, can't get it to go. And an ill-advised pass by White, trying to get it, I think, to Carter. That's not going to go. Checking into the game for the Lopez, number 3, Grippa. And if you've seen a lot of games that are coached by LaToya Russ, you know that when the Mustangs get pretty far into the lead with a dominant performance, she'll rotate in more players and make sure that people who don't maybe get as much playing time get some more. But she won't necessarily back off. As the foul is called here against Camille Lynch, as her goal is to get her team all the training that they need to be ready for varsity, and she's not going to have them deliberately play subpar basketball no matter what the scoring differential is. And so that's why you see a lot of 30, 40-point differentials if you look at the season history. And Carter out of bounds before coming in to take that ball, and so it'll be a Lopez ball. Checking into the game for the Green Wave, number 20, McCraney. Carter can't get the layup to go. Rodriguez unsuccessful on the putback either. Rebound ultimately goes to Fleischer. Otero fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Green Wave. Mustang foul is called against number 11, Stephanie White. That's her 3rd personal foul, the team's 4th. Full timeout requested by the Green Wave. We'll be right back. Welcome back to live action here at Mustang Arena. Just about halfway through the 4th quarter of the JV contest, and the Mustangs comfortably leading by about 33 points. Full timeout called by the Mustangs. And once again, we'll be right back. Sky Carter is fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Mustangs. Foul called against Green Wave, number 4, Otero. That's her 3rd and the team's 3rd. Believe it or not, 4 minutes in here, that's actually the first point of the quarter scored by the Mustangs. In fact, first point scored by anybody this quarter. In case you were wondering if you fell asleep and missed something, you haven't. Sky Carter is called on her first personal foul, the team's 5th. Traveling. Mustangs ball. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, Rachel Belcher and Angelica Roldan. Rachel Belcher on the Mustangs layup. First field goal of the quarter for either team. Second chance basket won't go, but the third chance basket does. Nixon on the putback. Carter with a good look at a three, but it's too hot. Rebound to Otero. Green Wave unable to get anything done in transition. Easy pickings for Peterson. From the key, too short. Traveling. Mustangs ball. So Nixon comes up with a rebound there, but not able to get a dribble underway. Thanks to the full court press by the Mustangs. And here, Belcher is going to get called for traveling. Green Wave ball. So one good turnover deserves another, and we head into the last buck 22 here in the JV contest. Good play by Coach. She gets right in. They're not in a position to score, though, so she gets it back to Carter, and the Sky Carter is fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot two for the Mustangs. Foul called against Green Wave number 21. Zoic, that's her first personal foul, the team's fourth. And these two free throws are probably going to bleed out most of the rest of the clock. Over 2 at the line. Otero on the rebound. 30 seconds to go. And it's stolen by Peterson. Gets her dribble interrupted by Otero. Gets it back, though, thanks to some quick work by Carter. And it's Carter to Peterson for 2. So the Mustangs will end an otherwise dull fourth quarter with a little bit of razzle-dazzle, and that'll take us into the final 10 seconds. To Carter. Waits her turn, pops it up, and 2 hots. Peterson, one more chance, and she gets it. Ariana Peterson will get the last word of the JV contest. That takes us to the end of the ball game. 58-19, the final score here in Friday Night JV action. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming out in person tonight or for joining us online on the NFHS Network or YouTube Live. For JV basketball action, supporting your Green Wave and Mustang athletes. Don't go anywhere. We've got varsity basketball action coming your way right after the warm-up period. For those of you who are listening to our live webcast, we want to make sure you know that the JV and the varsity contests are 2 different webcasts. So please do not continue watching this one. You will get a blank screen. You will need to exit out of this webcast, get into the next one, and continue watching varsity, which will be starting in just about 15 minutes. We'll see you there.